So my impression of Russia's political demographics has led me to believe that they are generally pretty favorable towards Russian imperialism. It seems as though in the past, at least, Putin's approval rating has gone up after he successfully, after the annexation of Crimea. I think after the Georgian invasion as well, they just seem to like that. Now, I want to be clear about something, okay? Russians are just people. They are not unique in any respect, no more bloodthirsty or violent than any other group of people. The Russian people are perhaps the greatest victims of Putin's regime, Obviously, right now, our sympathy should be with Ukraine, but imagine living in Russia. They have to deal with Russian occupation forever. What a nightmare. Russians are bombarded nonstop with Russian propaganda. The state media very carefully controls the narrative produced by the Kremlin. The level of propagandistic narrative control they experience is incomparably greater to what we experience. A degree, of course, of manufactured consent is present in all media, in all governments, in all countries, but Russia really is something else. And that is why it is so incredibly special to see genuine anti-war protests breaking out in Ukraine. Sorry, not Ukraine. Of course they're in Ukraine. In Russia. Pushkin Square, right outside the Kremlin. Right outside the Kremlin. There was a video in St. Petersburg as well. Over 1,000 people have been detained in Pushkin Square protests. Oh, these people are all going to get arrested. Make no mistake, these people are absolutely getting arrested. Where was the one in St. Petersburg? Did I not retweet? Oh, here we go. No, that's Moscow. I am a fool. Thousands and thousands of people across Russia. I just want everyone to understand that there is nothing essentialist about give me the St. Petersburg protest. This is Kaliningrad's Victory Square. I want to commend the overwhelming bravery of any anti-war protesters who are speaking in Russia right now, because the Russian government will just kill protesters. It's not like they don't do that. People get yoinked and people get killed. Here we go. Ah, what a beautiful protest. Look at that. This is Putin's hometown. This is one of the reasons why it is so essential that Western lefties shut the fuck up and stop justifying or giving pretext to the invasion which is taking place. Because when Russians go online, they don't just see RT propaganda, they see the world speak. And when they are seeing the defenses laid out by the Kremlin reflected in non-Russian-backed media entities around the world, this discourages them from engaging in the behavior which is most likely to save lives, which is to protest against Putin's fascist warmongering. It is absolutely essential that the narrative on this be as clear as possible, and that is that there is no justification whatsoever for this war, there is no legitimacy to the propaganda which has been used as a pretext to instigate it, and that peacekeeping is the shared, or at least should be the shared goal of all people in the world right now. It's important to understand, outside of all of the nationalist posturing, of course, as a person with, at the very least, anarchist sentiments, nation-states are despicable things that do despicable things. They make monsters of many people. Even the Russian soldiers who are now invading Ukraine, I feel sympathy for them, I do. I still want them to be absolutely vaporized by, Ukrainian-owned Javelin missiles. Don't get me wrong, I maintain consistency in this respect. But I still feel bad for them, Because what are they not? A bunch of snot-nosed 18-year-olds? Seriously, these Russian conscripts. In a better world, in a better country, they could have been doing anything else. They could have been artists or filmmakers. They could have been engineers. They could have been doctors. But they were born into a country with few economic opportunities, a country with rampant government-controlled propaganda that has compelled them through direct or indirect coercion to fight in a war effort which will bring ruin to themselves and to others. A miserable affair. And I hope everyone understands this. There is nothing essentialist about my condemnations or critiques. Every Russian citizen who supports the war effort against Ukraine is a person who was misled by Russian propaganda. Every single Russian soldier who puts a bullet through the skull of a Ukrainian civilian is a person who, in another better life, might have been doing something productive with themselves. It is deeply tragic what the powers that be motivate people beneath them to do. And I want everyone to understand that. This mindset, this attitude, what I'm talking about right now is how you ethically support people in any conflict. You must understand. There is no circumstance by which this attitude should not be applied. It is the only humane way of addressing problems such as these. So please always keep that in your mind. Always, always, always. I missed a class, I think. What does essentialist mean? In this respect, by do not engage in essentialism, I mean don't ascribe characteristics as a fundamental part of a person's behavior. People are what they are because they were led to that position. And people who are in one life Nazis may have in another life been communists. People who are in one life soldiers for Russia might have in another been soldiers for Ukraine. It's not about who or what they are. It's about what they were made to be, where they were led, and people can always change. And I know right now that if this does lead to some massive awakening in Russia, if this does lead to some significant anti-government sentiment, and maybe things do change positively 10, 20 years down the line, maybe they think of Ukraine the same way many people in America today think of Iraq. Actually, there are a great many people, I think, who could do to be quite a bit more ashamed of the perspectives that they've had in Ukraine. Speaking of people who have come to regret the Iraq War,